All righty, welcome back to another episode of Two Plane Sports Thursday edition. We apologize, we missed yesterday's upload. Had a few things come up after that live stream. We figured we could be late a day, and this is why we always say you should turn that notification bell on because otherwise you wouldn't know that we're uploading on a Thursday. We'll be back on Friday as well, so tomorrow with Jose. Jose will be here. The trio will be back. Jose won't be on for 10 minutes of it and then peace out while he's got to go to the beach.
He also owes us a couple shotguns for the live stream.
He does. So our next live stream will be July 11th, and I want everyone to make sure that Jose knows he owes us a couple. And if for anyone that's watching this that didn't make it for the live stream or hasn't gone back and watched the live stream, it was a ton of fun. Brandon and I originally intended on only being online for about an hour. It ended up being like an hour and 45 minutes because it was just a good time. We had tons of people in here, and we're going to start doing this a little more often. And I think we're going to eventually try to get some call-in guests and things like that for people like you to be able to call in and talk with us, talk, football, life, whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll hang out. So be sure we'll be July 11th at 8 p.m. Central. So in order to make sure turn the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, like this video, help us out, comment. You'll stick around for Brandon's end of video challenge and comment throughout the video on what you think on various kids we're going to discuss today. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, help us out and leave a review on there. While you might not be on YouTube right now, just leave a review. 4 or 5 stars, that's what we prefer, but we understand if some of our takes are only 3 stars. So today's episode we're going to be covering looks like there's another commit or two on the way. Demarco Murray tweeted out yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago as you guys are watching this, Yamaha, which is his deal. Sandlin put out another lock emoji. There's Samuel Osamigo is putting out his commitment today as you're watching this at 3 p.m. Central. Feel pretty good about that. We're going to talk a little Cole Adams to Alabama, unfortunately, and what's next at the wide receiver recruit, as far as recruiting. OU's newest offer of Johnny Bowens, that is a recent Texas A&M decommit. And then we're just going to brush on Anthony Hill and a little update on him. It's unfortunate news, but it is what it is. So we'll get into it now. Yesterday afternoon, evening, as we're recording this, so Tuesday afternoon, you saw a tweet from Demarco Murray saying Yamaha. And obviously that means that's his deal. That's typically hinting at a potential commit coming here pretty soon. And really the timeline and everything else, it matches up with Dalen Smothers. Dalen Smothers, 5'11", 182-pound running back from Charlotte, North Carolina, 4-star in the 2023 class, 219 overall, and the number 9 running back in the class. Had 1,700 yards rushing, 30 touchdowns. Just a great running back, a huge target. While he has not officially announced his commitment to OU, it seems that the announcement is inevitable. And it's looking really good for Oklahoma. Some crystal balls have come in favor of Oklahoma from Oklahoma insiders and Florida State insiders. Brandon, what do you think?
I mean, love it. It looks like we're going to finish up that 23 class. As far as the running back scale, we wanted 2. Looks like we're going to get 2 now. And I believe 2 top 10 running backs in the class. So it's hard to complain about that. They're both 4-star players. Dalen Smothers, you mentioned, 1,700 all-purpose yards, 30 touchdowns. That's explosive. The dude can run, he can catch. It's a big addition to a room that's becoming pretty damn loaded. When you look at it as a whole, with 22, 23 classes together, and the guys currently on roster, like you've got Javonte Barnes there, you've got Tyree Walker is a guy that we don't really know how much he's gonna play, but he's there. Gavin Sawchuk's there. That room is becoming big. Demarco Murray's been doing I think a hell of a job recruiting him and Cale Gundy specifically with the skill position players, bringing them home. I'm very excited if it's Dalen Smothers. It looks that way, but I hate to sit here and say it's him, and then all of a sudden something changes or it doesn't happen, or it's Sergio Snyder or something. But no, it's probably Dalen Smothers, and if it is, it's hard to complain when you get 2 top 10 backs in the 23 class.
Yeah, we could be sitting here acting like it's Dalen Smothers and Richard Young comes out of nowhere. I mean, that might be,
I'm not sure anybody would complain if that's the case.
No,
I wouldn't. I would be okay with it.
I'd be totally okay with being wrong and acting like this is going to be Dalen Smothers. But really, these are the two running backs that Demarco Murray, I would say, maybe not necessarily wanted all the entire time. I know Wisner, who's now at Texas, was a big priority for Murray, and obviously he committed to Texas. But Hicks and Smothers is a great duo. The running back room, like you said, is getting full. It's going to be set. I feel really good about them. I was a little concerned with Smothers after his visit from Florida State. Just some of the articles and some of the interviews I watched on him, it seemed like he might have been trending towards the Knolls, and even a Florida State insider came in with a crystal ball for him right after his visit. And I thought, man, we might have lost out. And we even talked about, I think it was on the live stream, you brought it up about Sergio Snyder would be the next target as far as who's been offered already. And it's looking like that won't be necessary, assuming that commits will stick all the way through.
I just want to do a quick correction of myself. I was talking about 2 top 10 running backs in the 23 class. Caleb Hicks is 24. So 2 top 25 running backs in the 23 class. But still, tough to complain about that. You got 1 top 10, you got 2 top 25 overalls. It's a pretty good class as far as the running back position goes.
And who's to say Hicks doesn't rise up the rankings throughout his senior season? That could very well happen. But, if this is the case, I feel pretty good. As long as Murray can hold both Smothers and Hicks, he can start looking for the 2024 class and start locking down like Stacey Gage and maybe another guy. I'm assuming they're only going to ever take maybe 2 running backs at a time now that it's been pretty stocked up in there. Assuming no transfers happen. So feel pretty good about that. I feel like within the next few weeks, I think maybe by the next live stream, we might see Smothers commit. I don't think it's going to go on very much longer. So I know a lot of people are wanting these commits. Well, Smothers, he's on commit alert, commitment watch. Another guy, we've been talking about him a lot recently, is Samuel Omosigo. 6'1", 208-pound linebacker from Crandall, Texas. He's a 3-star on his composite, but he's a 4-star according to 247 Sports ratings. So he's a little bit higher. His decisions between OU and Florida, he took a visit to Florida on the 20th of June. He took an official visit to Oklahoma on the 3rd. I know he's been up multiple times to Oklahoma unofficially. He's announcing his commitment today, as you're watching this, on the 30th. At 3 p.m. Central. He made a correction. It was 4, but it's been moved up to 3. Feel really, really good about him being a Sooner at the end of the day. That'll be 2 commits in the last week, assuming this all happens. What do you think?
I agree. I think by 3 o'clock today, Samuel Masego is a Sooner, and he's the guy that we should be excited about. I mentioned on the live stream, mentioned on a couple episodes, or on the first 2 Plane Sports Crystal Ball series. Both Heath Ozeta and Samuel Omosigo are guys that might not draw the huge excitement or whatever because they are 3 stars or whatever, 4 stars somewhere, depending where you look. But I think they're pretty damn good football players. Samuel Omosigo is a tackling machine. He had about 90-something tackles, but 4 picks. He's very instinctive. And a guy that has that kind of skill set, good size, good speed, good tackler, playing in a Brent Venables system, it's hard not to get excited about. I think him and Phil Picciotti, who we also anticipate coming, they're both not the highest recruited players or stars as far as that stuff goes, but I think both are going to be big in a Brent Venables defense. I just think it starts today at 3 o'clock with Omosigo, and I'm excited to see how he develops under BV.
Yeah, and really, this, assuming nothing happens between right now and tomorrow, the last day of the month, so June, OU will have picked up quite a few commits. I know that it's not, they're not crazy highly rated guys like Samuel Osamigo, Heath Ozeta, Cade McIntyre, Caleb Hicks, and so they've got 4 there. Am I missing someone? Did someone else commit in the month of June for OU? Trying to think off the top of my head. I think it's just those 4. And Keon Brown. So there's 5.
Keon Brown.
Yeah, Keon Brown. He ended up committing. So that's 5 commits, assuming that Sammy pulls the trigger and joins the Sooners. 5 commits in a month. I know they're not all high rated. I know that's 1 4-star and the rest are 3 stars, or depending on which site you look at. Still, they picked up 5 kids in a month. That this class is probably gonna be 20 to 25 kids. So right there, you pick up like 20% of your class in a month.
And those 4 stars are coming later on in the month too, or not
Yeah.
the month because it's ending, but in July they're coming.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel while Texas and some other, Texas is getting a ton of commits right now, but whether they stick or not all the way through, that's a whole different topic to discuss later. But I feel really good. I mean, I'm comfortable. I think OU is going to finish really strong down the stretch. We talked about in the Two Plane Sports Crystal Ball series between the Monday video in the morning and Monday live stream. We talked about 10 guys. If OU can hit on 8 of them, that's going to be great. And Sammy's one of the 8 that we talked about. So
I feel, we feel real good about Sammy, but this is unrelated. But I've been thinking about it. You see what Jackson Arnold's been doing at Elite 11? Shredding it.
He's really good.
He's really good, man. I saw some of the latest rankings, whatever, who's the rankings, who's doing the best, and he's higher than Malachi Nelson in every list I've seen so far, which just makes me happy as a person. Malachi Nelson can suck it.
I think I saw.
Just kidding.
I'm
kidding. He's a high school. He's kid's a high school. I take that back before I get hated on. Good luck to Malachi, but I definitely want to see Jackson Arnold. Be better.
I think I saw Steve Wiltfong talked about Jackson Arnold, saying that he has the chance to be the number 1 player in this 2023 class by the end of this senior season.
We've been saying that on this show, and people are calling us crazy for it, but I'm telling you, we're telling you, Two Plane Sports. Jackson Arnold is that guy. He's not talked about enough. Just wanted to shout him out real quick because he's killing it on the Elite 11. Keep doing it, and man, I'm excited for that guy to be at the helm for the Sooners.
Yeah, OU, it's Lincoln Riley left, and there's still another 5-star coming in that could very well be the number 1 quarterback in the class when it's all said and done after these ratings are done. So month of June's wrapping up, pretty solid finish. A few commits that come out of nowhere, a few that we've been kind of expecting. While June I thought was solid, I think July is going to be really good. Now, part of the Two Plane Sports Crystal Ball series, we talked about 10 guys that we thought could commit. I guess counting Heath Ozeta, so he's one of them. Cole Adams, I will say, we talked about going 8 for 10. 7 for 8 or 7 for 10, 8 for 10, somewhere in there. Cole Adams was in our Crystal Ball series. We thought he might have joined the Sooners, but as of today, which is Wednesday, June 29th, Cole Adams announced his commitment to the Alabama Crimson Tide. 5'10", 180-pound wide receiver, 4-star from Owasso, Oklahoma. I think at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and act like it doesn't hurt, because it does. Now is he the number 1 wide receiver in the class? No, but I think this is going to be one commit that we're going to wonder, what if OU would have offered earlier? What if they would have not waited months?
Has a real Josh Jacoby feel to it.
It does. And
both Tulsa kids, both went to Alabama, both offered really late by Oklahoma. Obviously, we saw what Josh Jacobs did to our brother Robert Barnes in the Orange Bowl. That was unfortunate. Let's hope that Cole Adams doesn't shred us, and because at some point he's going to come to Norman as a visiting player. And that worries me. It worries me because I feel like he'll have a chip on his shoulder. I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't hurt either, because I agree. I called Cole Adams the best player in the state on the live stream. I'm going to stick by that. Just because he went to Alabama doesn't mean I have to. I got to stick to it. It's unfortunate. I agree. I think what's interesting to me though, and this is just it's a thought. All right, so just I guess I want your take on this. Brent Venables has put a big importance, yeah, whatever, on keeping these in-state talent. Cole Adams is obviously in-state, so like you would think that this is a guy that we would have been over a little bit more, kind of trying harder to pursue. Do you wonder? This is just what I'm wondering. He wasn't offered until Ashton Kozart decommitted, went to Oregon. Do you think that Oklahoma knew that it was pretty much Alabama and Alabama only, and that's why we didn't offer until that Ashton Kozart decommitment and we had an open spot? I want because of the emphasis that we put on or that Brent Venables has put on in-state kids. I wonder if, as a staff, they felt like it was an Alabama lock essentially, and so they almost didn't want to waste their time until they had just a free spot with the Kozart decommitment, and that's why he wasn't offered. And that is not. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm wondering if that's a possibility. What do you think?
I don't know, because if you knew it was going to be Alabama at the end of the day, no matter what, why would you ever offer that? Why would you ever waste?
He wasn't
your time
offered until Kozart decommitted.
Well, and so you're right. And what makes you wonder is it because they thought they felt better, with Kozart on the team or committed? Did they feel like they were going to get two commits from two other people, and that Cole Adams wasn't quite as good as the other, those three? That I could see an argument there of like, well, we've got Kozart, he's solid. We're feeling really good about. At the time, it was Michael Harrison Pilot, and then maybe it's Chikwueze Petaway or an Anthony Evans or someone like that. I'm trying to think who would have been the other targets that have kind of faded out, but I know Michael Harrison Pilot is one of them. Probably Chikwueze Petaway. Those are probably the three: Kozart, Petaway, Harrison Pilot. Like, well, we don't have room for Adams. Well, Kozart decommits, and then they offer him because they're like, well, it's a hometown guy. He's an OU fan.
You
We're gonna
never know. Yeah, in that, again, I'm not saying that's what happened. It's just, it's an interesting thought to ponder, I think.
And what's interesting is there more to this story. There has to be, because if other programs like Alabama and LSU and other big time programs are coming in with offers way earlier than what OU did, and a hometown guy in Owasso, Oklahoma, is there more to it than we just don't know? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, because Cole Adams, as far as his height, that's what OU needs in this class. They need some of the smaller, shiftier guys, because we've been getting the height and the weight and in this past class.
Chikwueze Petaway can fill that, and at the end of the day, Chikwueze Petaway is a better player than Cole Adams.
Yeah, no, I know, but I feel like they need two guys of that size. Keon Braun, what is he? He's like 6'3" or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's a little bigger. I don't know. I think it very well could be that they thought, well, we're just wasting our time, but we might as well offer him so it looks better. But I don't know. Yeah, you have a 4-star in your backyard that is electric with the ball in his hands, and you place an emphasis on hometown recruiting or home state recruiting. And then we don't offer until May. It's almost like, are they thinking that, well, it doesn't matter when we offer, the kid's going to commit to us? Like, almost thinking you just wouldn't actually go commit somewhere else, and here we are.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out as the years go by.
That definitely hurts. Going 7 for 10, 8 for 10 in the Two Plane Sports Crystal Ball Series is still going to be good. As long as OU can get Chikwueze Petaway to pair up with Keon Braun, and then one more who we're going to talk about next. I'm very
excited about Chikwueze Petaway. If we get Chikwueze Petaway, I'm going to be over the moon.
Yeah, no, that's just assuming that comes to fruition. Adams will hurt, but this wide receiver class with Petaway, Brown, and maybe Anthony Evans or someone else will still be really strong. And that wide receiver room's in way better shape right now compared to last year at this time. So, well, and then that kind of leads us into our next discussion topic is, where does OU go next? with the wide receiver room. You know, we've got Keon Brown committed. Jaquazi Petaway seems to be really trending towards Oklahoma and could commit over the next month or so. That's two guys that could be OU. And I see them taking a third wide receiver in this class, and that is Anthony Evans. So Anthony Evans, same height, 5'10", 155 pounds.
He fits the height thing that you're looking for.
He is, and he's a 4-star, number 337 overall, and the number 43 wide receiver in the class. Has offers from Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas A&M, Penn State, Arkansas. He was an Arkansas commit for a long time. We've talked a little Anthony Evans on this show. He has taken some official visits. It seems to be, you know, the top three are OU, Georgia, and A&M. He committed to Arkansas a while ago, but then he took his unofficial visit to Oklahoma in April 15th, which is was that the spring game? No, I can't remember when that was, but he unofficially visited, I think, the week before the spring game, got his offer on April 15th, decommitted from Arkansas on the 22nd of April, and came up for the spring game on April 23rd, back to OU. It seems like that there's some serious interest there. I think OU, it's one of those deals. I don't know how hard they've been pushing Anthony Evans, because how good do they feel about Cole Adams? You know, do they feel good about him as up until within the last week or so, and they've kind of put Anthony Evans on the back burner? I'm not sure, but I feel like they're in a good spot for Evans. They'll have they can beat out Georgia as far as the geographic, you know, how far he's got to go for it. But I see Anthony Evans being that replacement and someone that fits that mold. While he did have a little, you know, fewer yards, he only had like 491 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball for 115 yards. You know, what do you think about him?
I mean, yeah, you mentioned it there. His numbers don't jump off the page at you immediately. With 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, 120 rushing yards, whatever it is. But there's a reason he holds as many offers as he does, and from these elite programs that he does. He's very good with the ball in his hands. Again, he has that Cole Adams type to him. I don't think he's quite as good as Cole Adams, but if you lose out on Cole Adams as you did and you land Anthony Evans, that's not a bad consolation prize. I think Anthony Evans can be very, very good. He's another guy who does sort of the Jaquazi Petaway type stuff, like to a lesser degree, but the same kind of game. He also returns punts and kicks. He's a good downfield blocker on running plays. He plays bigger than his size. I think he can definitely come in and compete in that slot position area. Hopefully we land him and Petaway and let those two go at it for the starting spot or one day down the road, or, you know, one goes to slot, one outside. But I think Anthony Evans can do a lot for us. If he's, you know, develops and coached right, he's a guy that we should be focusing full attention on now, as we did lose out on Cole Adams. But what's interesting with Anthony Evans to me the most is what we're about to talk about. He's teammates with Johnny Bowens, 4-star D lineman, just decommitted from Texas A&M.
Yeah. Are they becoming a pair? You know, are they a package deal? Johnny Bowens, 6'2", 265-pound defensive lineman, again from Converse, Texas, 2023 4-star, number 238 overall, and number 36 defensive lineman in the class. Committed to Texas A&M for a while. Ended up announcing his decommitment Tuesday. An offer came from OU on Wednesday. Seems like OU, you know, they saw that happen and immediately threw their name in the hat. He's a big guy. I don't know, from what I've read, there hasn't been a true reasoning. He did unofficially visit Oregon this past weekend, and then he announced his decommitment from A&M. Did that visit move the needle enough for him? I mean, it was unofficial, so him and his family or whoever went with him did pay out of pocket to go up there. So, I mean, obviously there's got to be some serious interest in there, as we talked about. Follow the visits, and if you're going that far away, going from Texas to the Pacific Northwest, that's not a cheap trip. He had 36 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 4 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles last year. I feel like this recruitment is pretty open. I really don't know a whole lot about him because this offer just came, but throwing your name in the hat, not waiting to offer like we've been talking about with Cole Adams, taking full advantage and not wasting any time, and Todd Bates. I think this is someone that OU could work themselves into really being in a good spot. And this is also spreading, adding another player that OU could get towards December, and that maybe we lose out on someone that we feel really good right now. If we lose out on someone and then Johnny Bones comes in, we're not going to be totally upset.
My stance on it, what's interesting to me, yeah, we offered so quick. I mean, the day after he decommits, we throw an offer in. And so let's say it plays out like this. I'm first of all, I'm curious to know if/how soon we get that kid to campus for a visit, whether it be unofficial or official. I'm sure we're working on that. It would be awesome to see him commit, or see him on campus, and then obviously work towards a commitment one day. But you lose Cole Adams, 4-star. I think he's a stud. You think he's a stud. Tough loss. But if I tell you, would you rather have Cole Adams by himself, or would you rather have Anthony Evans, a 4-star receiver, come with his 4-star defensive lineman teammate, commit as a package deal? You take the package deal. Maybe some things happen for a reason. I would be ecstatic if we could land this duo from high school. I mean, we're talking about how we want and how we see a real possibility of Oklahoma flipping Peyton Bowen and Ryan Yates from their commitments at Notre Dame and LSU to join teammate Jackson Arnold. Let's do the same thing here. Let's just bring in all these teammates, all these pairings, keep them together. Anthony Evans and Johnny Bowens, 2 is greater than 1 if we can land both.
That is the truth. 2 is greater than 1. I would definitely take the pairing over just one Cole Adams for sure. Todd Bates is going to be probably putting full court press on him. OU probably figures that he decommitted. He probably hasn't been talking to a ton of people outside of Oregon, and maybe he's LSU. I'm not sure. And they might feel like, he's right for the picking, and, you can slide right in. I mean, we've talked about how long of a recruiting process that, it is. It's up to like 2 years for a lot of these kids. I mean, we're offering 2024 kids right now, and we already have. And so those relationships have already started. You can jump in with a guy like Johnny Bowens that's been committed somewhere for a while. He might not have been as receptive. Teams might not have been been talking to him as much outside of A&M. You can almost maybe start at a little bit more of an even playing field with other schools later in the process. And that could be the logic behind it. And he's a good player, so that also helps. So we'll keep I'll keep reading more. I'll try to keep figuring out more on him and see if you can get him on campus, and we'll be sure to let you guys know. Last thing we need to talk about, and this is kind of going to be quick. Anthony Hill, 2023 5-star linebacker, the number 1 linebacker in the class from Ryan High School in Denton, Texas. Brandon, I think someone asked about him on the live stream on Monday, where we thought they were going. You stated that you thought it was Texas. I said it was Texas A&M. Well, it just so happened that he announced his top 2, and it's Texas and Texas A&M. He said he's staying home. What's going to be really funny is when both these teams are either 7-5 or 8-4. But anyway, what do you think?
No, I agree. We'll be, and we talked about that in live stream too. When these teams both suck, it'll be interesting to see how many decide to stick it out. It sucks. It does. I wish Anthony Hill the best. I wish he had Oklahoma in his final, but going before the final 2 were announced and all that, we kind of knew it was going to be an uphill battle for Anthony Hill. We never really felt great about it. We always felt a top 5 because he did take an official. But at the end of the day, we didn't feel great. It is a blow to see it officially official now that Oklahoma's out of the running, but you move on. Again, I think we got some dogs coming at linebacker, and Phil Picciotti and Samuel Masego, who again aren't going to have that 5-star draw or that hype. But at the end of the day, when you put your helmet on and your shoulder pads and in your pants and your jersey, it doesn't say 5-star on the front, or 3-star, 2-star, 0-star, whatever. You just kind of play the game.
It just says Sooners across the front. That's all it says. Doesn't matter how many stars you had. So you never know. Could it be top 2 right now and both teams really struggle? seats start to get a little warm for their coaches, Steve Sarkisian gets a little warm. It probably won't get too warm for Steve Sarkisian, because as long as Arch Manning's committed, they're going to make sure Sark has a job. But either way,
Till he
it is
finds
what it is.
the liquor on the sidelines. He's been known to do that.
He has been known to do that once or twice, like old Jim Leahy. So anyway, that's our show. That's what we put together today. We apologize for missing a Wednesday upload. I just had a few things, so we figured we'll get you on Thursday, and we'll get you on Friday with Jose coming back, making the hashtag return. Brandon, do you have any final thoughts, or I guess in the video challenge?
No real final thoughts. I think we had a pretty good show, wrapped it all up. Good one. Excited to have Jose back full time with us again. In the video challenge, man, I did not come prepared tonight. I can't lie.
Or maybe you could always ask something regarding the live stream. Should we ask if they want some?
I'll defer in the video challenge to you then, if you got it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking, for everyone that's watched it or has gone back and watched it or attended live, what did you guys like? What didn't you like? Would you like to see something different format? We're trying to make it where, while we'll talk mostly football, but we're trying to hang out more and get everyone engaged and just talking about various other things. Let us know what you think about the live stream that happened this past Monday and what you like to see on the 11th. We'll have Jose back full time for that, and we'll get you guys taken care of, and we'll hopefully get some call-in shows here pretty soon. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for a Friday upload. Jose will be back, and we'll catch you next time.